Hey y'all, how's it going? So this is going to be towards beginners. First of all, let me say this. It's not as bad as it used to be, but there is definitely a stigma attached to the idea of disaster preparedness. Oh, you're one of those, are you? You got your tinfoil hat, all that kind of crap. So when somebody starts that kind of crap with me, I ask them, let me ask you this, do you have a spare tire and a jack, maybe some jumper cables for your car? Yeah. Okay. Do you have a gun? Like home defense? Most of the time the answer is yeah. Say, well, why? If nothing bad is ever going to happen to your car, nobody's ever going to break into your house, why do you have these things in the first place? You're obviously, you're never going to get a flat. You're never going to have a dead battery. Why do you need those? Well, it could happen. Exactly. It could happen. Well, that's a lot different than living that kind of lifestyle. I'm like, what kind of lifestyle is that? I work a job, get a paycheck. I have hobbies, like I like to hunt, fish, camp, and all that kind of thing. Well, you got all that food, and what's your point? Do you not have food in your house? You go out to eat every single meal, and you keep no food in your house? Why do you have food in your house if you're never going to be hungry when restaurants are closed or nothing else is available? You can't say that. People get hungry. Exactly. So what's the difference if I have 6 months to 2 years worth of food at my house and you've got, 6 days to 2 weeks worth of food at your house? So just approach it like that. And if you're afraid of that stigma is why you haven't prepared to the point that you could, just ignore it. I mean, use the argument I just laid out. Now, the very first thing, if you've not done any kind of preparedness at all, the very first thing I would suggest you do as far as micro preparedness would be, and what I mean by that is prepared on a small scale, is packing a backpack, especially if you live in a city. Make your bug out bag, get it all packed with all the different essentials. And what are those essentials? High density food, nutrient and calorie packed food that will fill as little space as possible. I did a video one time on those lifeboat rations. Those are perfect for that. It's exactly what I'm talking about. A water filter, a knife, fire starting implements, a way to stay warm, keep the rain off of you, whether that be rain gear. You don't have to get one of those space blankets. People like them because they do retain heat and they pack very small and they're very light. That's fine. I'd recommend a small tarp, preferably subdued colors like brown, because you're not going to want to call attention to yourself. Now, if you're hiking and there's a possibility of you getting hurt or getting lost, you want the exact opposite. You want to be found. But for the scenarios I'm talking about, you want to stay as invisible as possible. So, all the items I just said is by no means the end-all list. You know, you have to tailor your bag to your environment, the time of year. There's lots of variables, but those are basics that everybody is going to want in their bag. You know, and not just a water filter. You're going to want some ready water too, like whether you have a canteen or two, or a Camelback, or maybe even just a couple of bottles of water. You know, have something. So what a bug out bag is to everything you will need to sustain life for a short period of time. Now, once you start talking about homesteading, that is, well, like Canadian Prepper said, that is macro survival. He called the bug out bag micro survival and the homestead macro, which makes perfect sense, and I agree with it. But if you're just getting started and you want to do it, you say you've already got your bug out bag lined out, then you need to start on preparing your home. And the quickest and easiest way to do that is canned food, dried food, bottles of water. You know, just start buying it and storing it. You know, ramen noodles are dirt cheap and they last forever. Of course, the staples of beans and rice, you know, everybody gets those because you're getting your carbohydrates and your protein and all the other nutrients. But one a lot of people overlook is vitamins. You know, pill form vitamins. Vitamins don't ever go bad. Yeah, they go past their sell-by date and all that, and they lose some of their potency over time. But it's not going to kill you to take them. So, just, if nothing else, get a good multivitamin. That's better than nothing. Because the food you have on hand may not have all the vitamin C or, you know, vitamin B that you're going to need. You got to start small. Everybody does. You don't need to run to the store with $3,000 and clear the shelves out. I mean, if you can do that, more power to you, but it's not a necessity. So that's basically all I wanted to say in this video. Just do your bag and then start small. If you don't already have a gun, you're way behind the 8 ball. And if you're not legally allowed to have a gun, you should have alternate forms. You should have alternate forms anyway. But black powder, bow and arrow, crossbow, hell, throwing knives, I don't know, any type of projectile weapon you can come up with, you should have at the minimum one at your house. Of course, the old standby of 2 is 1 and 1 is none, that applies in that respect as well. So Anyway, that's all I got today. For now, I'm gonna let you go. So till next time, I'm Aunt Victoria Kiram. Stay safe out there.